Welcome. Hopefully you have a pen and paper ready to go. We are continuing to apply operations on both sides of an equation, and in this video we are dividing. So remember, pen in hand, you're copying down with me. You may pause, you may work a bit quicker. The video is intended to work at your own speed, but you must be writing things down. Divide both sides of the equation by 3. So that means I'm going to divide this side by 3, and I'm going to divide this side by 3. Which means, what am I going to get? I'm going to get d over 3 is equal to 7s over 3. Now, there's nothing there I can simplify, so that is my final answer. That's how you do it. Next, divide both sides by 2. So I'm going to divide this side by 2, and I'm going to divide this side by 2. That means I'm going to get, now this is where we have to be careful. It's this whole thing is being divided by 2, the whole thing of it. So you can think of this as kind of in brackets. Or in other words, I'm taking this whole thing and I'm dividing the whole thing by 2. That's how you need to write it. And then on this side equals to 5g over 2. So whenever you've got something like this, the whole thing is being divided by 2. That's really important. All right, let's keep on chugging along here. Actually, let me highlight that answer. All right, you might like to pause the video and see if you can do the next one for yourselves. Okay, it says that we are divide both sides by 3. So that means I'm going to divide this side by 3, and I'm going to divide this side by 3. So I'm going to get, now again, realize this whole thing is being divided by 3. So it's 4k plus 5, the whole thing over 3. And then on this side, I have 3m over 3. Now, this is where you need to do some cancelling out. Because I've got a 3 up the top and a 3 down the bottom. We know how to simplify fractions. You're going to go, well, 3 divided by 3 is 1. And I might put this one over here. And then 3 divided by 3 is 1. So you have a 1 on top and a 1 down the bottom. Or in other words, 3 goes into 3 one time. Which means what you have here is on this side you have 4k plus 5 over 3. And then on this side, you have 1m, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. But do you write this 1 in front of it? No, you do not. You just leave it as m, and that's it. So you need to make sure that you're simplifying when you can. And that's our answer to this one. Let's keep chugging along. We are now going to divide both sides by 6. So I'm going to divide this side by 6. And I'm going to divide this side by 6. Now, I was trying to freak us out a little bit because they put a negative here, but we're not going to get freaked out because we know what they're up to. Negative 12ak over 6. And on this side, now I might need a bit more room here. Remember, the whole thing is being divided by 6. The whole thing. Now, we look over here. I've got 12 over 6. I can simplify this. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So that means I have negative 2ak over 1. And then on this side, you might be thinking to yourself, can I simplify this 6 and this 6? And the answer to that is a big no. You cannot. You can only ever simplify when it's in this type of arrangement. As soon as you've got something else added or subtracted to it, you cannot simplify. You cannot do that. It needs to look like a traditional fraction where you've got one term over one other term. If you've got 2 terms over one term, you can't do it. No, sir, Bob. You just leave it as it is. So this is just 6p plus 1 over 6. But you know what? We can write this better. What is any number divided by 1? Let me ask you. What is 2 divided by 1? How many times does 1 go into 2? It goes in twice. How many times does 1 go into 6? It goes in 6 times. How many times? What's 72 divided by 1? It's 72. There is no need to put a 1 here. Let me get rid of all that. You just write your answer as negative 2ak. Negative 2ak. That is your final answer. You don't write over 1. That is my answer there. We keep on going here. We keep on going. This is a long one. Here we have divide both sides of the equation by negative 12g. negative 12g. So I'm going to divide this side by negative 12g, and I'm going to divide this side by negative 12g. We have to be careful here. This is going to be 10ag over negative 12ag. And over here, it's going to be negative 4g over negative 12g. All right, let's first deal with my left-hand side. The first thing I'm going to realize is I have a g up the top and a g down the bottom, so I can cancel them. Oh, sorry, there shouldn't be an a there. My apologies, that should just be a g there. I don't know why I put an a there as well. So there's a g up the top and a g down the bottom. They both cancel out. I still have this a here, but the g's are now gone. Then I have 10 and 12. They're both divisible by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And I have a negative. Remember, when you divide a positive by a negative, the answer is negative. But you don't normally write the negative in the denominator, just write it out the front. So I'm going to go 5a over 6. And that's how we write our answer. 5a over 6, because we cancelled, we had a negative, we still got an a there. That's how we approach it. You might like to pause the video and see if you can simplify this one correctly for yourself. I've got a g here and a g here, they die. Then I've got a 4 and a 12. They're both divisible by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And I have a negative and a negative. They both cancel out with each other as well, because when I divide two negatives together, it becomes a positive. So that means I have 1 up the top, I have a 1 up the top, and I have a 3 down the bottom, and that's it. Because remember, those negatives cancelled out as well. So this one was a little tricky, but you got a 1 up the top, and you got a 3 down the bottom. A 1 up the top and a 3 down the bottom. That is how you would approach that one right there. Let's highlight it, and let's keep on moving. All right, the next one we have here. You might like to pause the video and see if you can do it for yourself. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4y. Again, a little bit tricky, but we can do it. So I've got negative 12x over negative 4y is equal to 2y over negative 4y. Let's zoom in here. This y will cancel with this y. The negatives will cancel. It's going to become a positive. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that means for my left-hand side there, up the top, I have this 3 and this x. And down the bottom, I have a 1. Now I deal with my other side. My y's cancel with each other. 2 and 4, both divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So what do I have up the top? I have 1 up the top. What do I have down the bottom? I have just 2. And also remember, this thing is negative, because when you divide by a negative, your answer is negative. So a positive divided by a negative is negative. Also remember, you don't have to ever put anything as 3x over 1. It's just 3x. So that is my answer. All right, we're still got a bit more to go here. This is a long one, I know, but I just want to go through some more examples so you feel really comfortable with this kind of stuff. All right, divide both sides by 8m. So I'm going to divide this by 8m. I'm going to divide this by 8m. Again, pause the video, see if you can do it for yourself. You're probably being able to do it a lot quicker than me by now. So this is 16am over 8m. And over here, we have 6m over 8m. The m cancels with the m. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 16 divided by 8 is 2. So that means I have 2a up the top. I have 1 down the bottom. And then on this side, this m cancels with this m. And then both of these, 6 and 8, are both divisible by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that means I have 3 on 4. Also remember, you don't have to put a 1 there. It's just 2a. And that is my answer to this one. Let's keep on moving. The very last one. It's been a big journey, but we're finally here. We're dividing by negative 6y. We're dividing by negative 6y. We're dividing by negative 6y. So that means I'm going to get 4m over negative 6y is equal to negative 24y over negative 6y. Let's deal with my left-hand side first. My prime numerals can't be cancelled. I've got an m and a y. That's no good. 4 and 6 can both be divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that means up the top, I have 2m, and down the bottom, I have negative 3y. But remember that negative, don't write the negative in the denominator, just kind of write it out the front. That's how people do it. They just write it out there. It's not technically wrong to put it in the denominator, but conventionally we don't do it. Then we come over here and we cancel things out. This y would cancel with this y. This negative would cancel with this negative. So it's going to be a positive answer. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 24 divided by 6 is 4 because 6 4s are 24. Always remember, it's always best if you can divide it by the highest common factor. That means up the top, I have just a 4. And down the bottom, I have just a 1. Which means my answer will just be 4. And that is my answer, everyone. That is how we do it. Hopefully you feel comfortable with this. Hopefully you did some really great working for me through this. But some tricky stuff, you've just got to make sure that you've mastered it. So we'll work through all these notes here. I now want you to take a picture of what you've done and upload it so I can see all the fantastic working out you've done in this topic. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.